Hello there. I wasn't really planning on recording a video for today. You can probably tell by the sound of my voice, I'm recovering from a pretty nasty cold. By the end of the stream on Monday, I started feeling quite sick, and yesterday I was pretty much bedridden the entire day. Today I'm feeling a little bit better, like the bronchitis at least is gone. Like yesterday I was like having trouble breathing, which is not very fun. So yeah, I got a cold like in the middle of June. I don't even know how the hell that happens. But it hit me quite hard. And like I said, I was planning on just recuperating these couple of days until, you know, I opened my YouTube app and I saw that we have a trailer for a brand new trailer. I don't even know what the timing, there's like no clear pattern for these expansion trailers. Like we are in June 18th, like barely over 2 weeks. So like barely over half of the month, and we already have a trailer for the next expansion. And other months, we don't get a trailer until like the very end of the month. Like it's just kind of like really random. And this time we got it super early. Like I just opened the app and I saw like, it was like, it's kind of crazy because I opened it and it was like a few seconds ago they uploaded this video. I'm like, okay, that was kind of insane coincidence. But yeah, we have an expansion to react to. I am recording, right? Oh, God. Yeah. Give me a second. Oh. So, yeah, I wasn't planning on recording today, but that's life. Let's see what the Eevee Grove is all about. I just want to make sure that I'm like, because I only have one take to do these. Okay, we are recording. All right, and I've already spent like 2 minutes. All right, let's jump into it and see what Eevee Grove is all about. I assume we're going to be getting some new evolutions. Yeah, that's quite the take. Let's take a look. Made it in. Okay, that is loud as hell. All right, give me a second. Let me put this in max screen. Yeah, let's go. So we'll be getting like our 20th Eevee, I would assume. There's an Eevee EX? What? Okay. Oh, whoa. Oh, wow. There's like a bunch of you. Okay. Okay. What the hell? Can I actually? I hate how they do this. Like I have to like specifically pause it a moment. Otherwise, I don't get to actually read the card. This is one of the lowest, if not the lowest, basic HP stat line for an EX Pokemon. Or HP stat line for a basic EX Pokemon English. Sorry about that. 90 HP with a bite that deals 30 damage for 1 energy. An ability VV Evolve. This Pokemon can evolve into any Pokemon that evolves from Eevee if you play it from your hand onto this Pokemon. Wait. This Pokemon can evolve into any Pokemon that evolves from Eevee if you play it from your hand onto this Pokemon. Okay, I understand. Because it's an EX Pokemon, right? So, for example, with Pikachu EX, you can't actually evolve Pikachu EX into a Raichu. Like, you can't do that. So, Eevee is a very special EX Pokemon that can evolve into a stage 1 evolution. And it could like actually go from being an EX Pokemon to a non-EX Pokemon, which is really interesting because you can navigate around the low HP stat for an EX. You know, despite like this stat line and this attack output is extremely good. Like this would be ridiculous for like a non-EX body. So if you don't take this out immediately, then you can just evolve it into a stage 1 evolution. And you're not really, your opponent can't really threaten you with taking 2 points by knocking it out. So that's interesting. So this guy can evolve into any sort of evolution, including what I assume is like the incoming, like the EX ones that we're going to see here. Because there's a bunch of them. I saw Umbreon, I saw Sylveon, Espeon, Glaceon, Jolteon, I mean all of them. There's, I only see, only Flareon and Sylveon are EX though. Okay, let's take a look at them. Vaporeon with the Hyper Whirlpool. Flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, discard a random energy from the opponent's active Pokemon. Not really very playable. 3 energy for 70 damage. You know, like, yeah, half of the time you're going to be able to take away an energy from the opponent, but the damage output, yeah, this Vaporeon is just not good. Jolteon, Beginning Bolt. If this Pokemon evolved during this turn, this attack does 20 more damage. Okay, so if you evolve this, the first time you evolve this, you're going to be hitting for 60 damage. Going first with Eevee evolving into Jolteon, you're able to deal 60 damage on your very first attack, which is definitely an upgrade from what most cards are capable of doing. Like comparing this to something like a Skarmory dealing 50, like being able to deal 60 damage from the get-go is extremely powerful, actually. It allows you to potentially knock out non-EX basics. A lot of them having 60 HP. Like if you're running something like a Sprigatito, for example, you can knock it out going first with this. Aside from that, not really much else special going on about this Jolteon. It's kind of like a fast attacker that then just like tones down. We got Flareon EX though, with 150 HP. The Combust ability says, once during your turn, you may attach a fire energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. If you do 20 damage to this Pokemon. So it ramps onto itself, but it has to be from the discard pile. So you have to have spent that energy, either retreating or the Pokemon fainting. And then a fire spin attack that for 3 energy deals 130 and discards 2 fire energy from it. Okay, but what's interesting here is that you're discarding 2 fire energy, but then you go for the Combust, you deal 20 damage to Flareon, and then you bring back that fire energy that discarded, and you basically have to play the 1 fire. So it seems, yeah, it's like technically you're just, it's like Turtonator, right? Or regular Flareon. You just have to place that 1 energy manually on it to enable the attack again, because the ability will trigger it, will allow you to recover the other energy that you discarded. But the key thing here is that every time you do trigger Combust, you're dealing 20 damage to Flareon. So it's ultimately like a different take on the Arcanine concept of like attacking for 120, 130 and dealing 20 damage to yourself, but you have more agency behind the amount of damage that you're actually dealing to Flareon in the process, because you can find ways to not have to resort to combustion as often. 130 damage is very important. Like that's a very good mark to hit. You're basically one-shotting all 130 HP EX basics with 1 hit, and with a Giovanni boost, you're able to hit 140 HP EXs and knock them out as well. Now, the key thing here is you can just evolve this onto an Eevee. So, yeah, I mean, aside from that, like, it's nothing particularly new. It's just a heavy hitter for 3 energy. And it's going to blend well with like healing, like utilizing Flareon with some sort of healing will allow you to combust turn after turn and preserve your HP at a decent mark. Interesting design, but pretty much a heavy hitter is what this is. Okay, can we not do this? Like, what I don't want to sound like, but I don't like what they do here with like. Just let me read the cards appropriately. Like, why do you hide this with all the shaded stuff? Like, just making my life harder. I'm just not a fan of these trailers, like the way they do these, like just hiding the cards. Okay. Espeon, 100 HP, Energy Crush. This attack, see, I can't even read this shit, bro. Like, this is just like, okay, like, I don't know. Are you trying to make it come off more interesting because you're hiding the text? Like, what is the purpose of this? The attack deals 20 damage for each energy attached. I can't read this shit. This attack deals 20 damage for each energy attached to your opponent's Pokemon. Okay, yeah, I finally got it. So Tapu Lele, but worse? I don't understand. Isn't this just worse than Tapu Lele? Like, isn't Tapu Lele just like strictly better than this because it's a basic Pokemon and it can attack the bench as well? I mean, I assume this attack is also like Tapu Lele's. I don't know. Maybe I can't actually read the card properly because for some reason they just decide to hide it. God, I really dislike this aspect. This attack does 20 damage for all of your opponents. Bro, let me read the card, man. Like, why do you have this? This is such a stupid aspect of the trailers. Like, I swear to God. Why? Why is this card with all this shadow and all like why? Why don't you just put the card for people to read it, bro? This attack deals 20 damage for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. Okay, now I understand. Okay, it only took me like 5 minutes to actually understand what it's doing. Because for some reason they just need to just make it blurry and this triggers me. This legitimately triggers me because they do this really often, and I don't think anybody appreciates this. It's just a really silly aspect of these trailers, like just hiding the text and just making the cards hard to read for like no fucking reason. Okay, so Energy Crush, I'm getting a little bit tilted with that because it's getting annoying at this point. And let's focus. Energy Crush, 20 damage. So it's dealing 20 damage for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. Now we're talking. Now this is quite different than Tapulele. This attack is accounting for all the energy that your opponent's Pokemon has. So if you attack something in the front, it's going to count for especially this could be a legitimate counter to Giratina EX. Like, this could be a legitimate counter to that Pokemon because it's building up all this extra energy, and this thing is going to hit for an insane amount of damage. This could be meta relevant. Vaporeon and Jolteon, I mean, Vaporeon is awful. Jolteon, okay, could be playable. Sorry. This is why I didn't want to record today. But this is the most impressive one so far. You know, I guess they really wanted to hide the incredible power Espeon has through all this shadow bullshit. But yeah, Energy Crush is taking into account all the energy placed on the board. So factoring in Pokemon that can generate the energy or ramp onto themselves, these Pokemon are going to empower Espeon. So we could be looking at. Yeah, we could be looking at a Pokemon that could very well shape the meta. Like, this is incredible because this is a 1 energy attack, ladies and gentlemen. Just so you have an idea, like if we reach a point where your opponent has built up 3 energy on their Darkrai and 3 energy on their Giratina, this Energy Crush is dealing 120 damage for 1 energy. That is Rampardo's levels of damage. Okay, that is insane. So this could be extremely, this card, watch out for this card. By far the most impressive so far. And this guy's there for a second. Okay. Umbreon, we finally got Umbreon, ladies and gentlemen. 100 HP like Espeon with a Dark Binding. And the defending Pokemon is a basic Pokemon. It cannot attack during your opponent's next turn. Both of Espeon and Umbreon are essentially counters to, I just keep thinking about Darkrai Giratina, right? Like, any sort of strategy that revolves around basic EX Pokemon, both of these punish that really well. So Dark Binding just comes in, attacks a Giratina, and then forces it to switch out because it cannot attack. That's very interesting design. It's a very niche role, though. And with Rare Candy in the mix, there's so much variety within decks that you encounter that I don't know. But ultimately, Umbreon is 100 HP and it's dealing 40 damage for 1 energy. So even if you're not getting the perk, you're still having a very solid attack, right? This is equivalent to the vanilla, the early vanilla 100 HP, 40 damage for 1 energy, sort of stat approach. My brain is a little bit fried because I'm sick. I'm not expressing myself well. Basically, 100 HP and dealing 40 damage for 1 energy is pretty standard. It's a good benchmark to hit. Pokemon early Genetic Apex non-EX Marowak, for example, we're kind of like balanced around this threshold, and Umbreon meets that requirement. Like Umbreon's HP and attack align with that, is what I'm trying to say. But there's, on top of that, there's a big perk. If you hit a basic Pokemon, they can't retaliate. And that makes it a very reliable tool against EX basic lineups. So these, both Espeon and Umbreon, basically very good Giratina EX counters. And then we got a new Leafeon with the Leaf Blast. His attack does 20 more damage for each Leaf energy attached to this Pokemon. Okay, so meant to synergize with Superior, perhaps? Like, with Superior, this is dealing 30, 60 with 2 energy. With 3 energy, it's dealing, it has 6 energy. Okay, so Leaf Blast is dealing 30 damage initially. With 2 energy, it's dealing 60. With 3 energy, it's dealing 90. With 4 energy, it's dealing 120. So if you have Superior and you have 2 energy onto this, you're dealing 120 damage for 2 energy. Like, it actually snowballs quite a bit. But you're combining a stage 1 with evolution with a stage 2 evolution. So I'm not sure what kind of deck Leafeon is meant for, aside of Superior. And it's also interesting that the Leaf Blast itself requires colorless energy when, you know, there's no point in attacking with this with anything but grass energy. That's kind of strange. But okay, it's a thing. And then the new Glaceon, Ice Blade, his attack deals 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So we basically have a new version of Lumineon. A Lumineon that cannot retreat for free. But a Lumineon that can also hit the frontline Pokemon. So Lumineon cannot attack the active Pokemon, and Glaceon can. Okay, a retreat cost of 2 is quite heavy though. But this provides you with really good reach. And there's the Sylveon EX, who's a Psychic-type Happy Ribbon. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may draw 2 cards. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon. So when you evolve into this, then. So Sylveon comes down onto Eevee and you draw 2 cards. And then a pretty standard like 70 damage attack for 2 energy with 140. Like the perk from Sylveon EX is that you're drawing. Like drawing 2 cards in Pokemon Pocket is a massive deal. It's just that the wording is a little bit unintuitive, right? Basically, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like when you evolve into this, you can draw 2 cards. And that's basically it. Like it's an EX evolution that's going to allow you to draw through your deck, which is quite interesting because you could combine this with like other like Pokemon. Maybe even combine this with something like Lunala EX, and being able to draw 2 cards is actually a big deal. Big deal, especially like for finding, you know, rare candy and be able to complete a stage 2 evolution. That's, you know, that's really interesting. Very powerful card draw effect. Like don't sleep on that. Like that's a pretty big deal. And the attack is good enough, you know. We got Penny, I don't know who that is. Look at a random supporter card that's not Penny from your opponent's deck and shuffle it back into their deck. Wait, look at a random supporter card that's not Penny from your opponent's deck and shuffle it back to their deck. Use the effect of that card as the effect of this card. Wait, what? 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 No. Look at a random supporter. Okay, it's a random. First of all, it's a random. I thought it was like you could actually pick. What? That's ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. That's kind of what? That's super chaotic. Like, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you try to analyze it, that's super chaotic. obviously, the longer the match goes, the more, you know, the deck will be thinned, but it just really depends. Like, you can be in a situation where, you know, you just play this and you pick up like a red or like a Sabrina, or I'm just trying to think about how you can make use of this competitively. It's just so chaotic and unpredictable that I just don't know if it's even like playable in that regard. It's a wacky effect, don't get me wrong. And it would be really funny to play Penny and just pick up a Professor's Research and just have a third Professor's Research, essentially. But because you don't know what you're going to hit, the question is, when is the appropriate time to play this? You know, when is the time to, like, when you're playing Penny, you're like, okay, no matter what I get, I'm going to get some value out of this. Like, there has to be a developed board state. You have to be ready to unleash a powerful attack. Because then if you pick up something like a Cyrus or a Sabrina, the payoff is really there. It's a very interesting card in that sense. But it's just pure chaos. Penny is pure chaos. I mean, I can see this card being fun to play, but it's just so unpredictable. That's a variance. That's a supporter design that I never thought would be a thing. Eevee Bag. Choose one. During this turn, attacks used by your Pokemon that evolve from Eevee do plus 10 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Attacks used by your Pokemon that evolve from Eevee do plus 10 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, so it's like a Giovanni item. Or you can heal 20 damage for each of your Pokemon that evolve from Eevee. I mean, this card becomes a staple for any sort of like Eevee deck, because you basically have an item that is either like a super potion or an item version of Giovanni. And you can choose one of the two depending on the situation. So this card is, for Eevee decks, this card is absolutely cracked. This is an amazing card. Like, if you play Eevee, you definitely run this as a full set, in my opinion. Like, it's just like, not only is just the sheer power of the effects, but also like the ability to choose between them and adapt to different scenarios. That's it's pretty damn great. Swirlix, Alchemy, and Milcery. If one of your Pokemon use Sweets Relay during your last turn, this attack does 20 more damage. This attack does 40 more damage for each time your Pokemon use Sweets Relay during this game. If one of your Pokemon use Sweets Relay during your last turn, this attack deals 20 more damage. Okay. I mean, the Sweets Overload attack is insane. Like, if you manage to go for Sweets Relay, if you manage to attack with Sweets Relay 3 times, then this is dealing 120 damage for 1 energy. But, you know, given the stat lines of the basics, are you going to be able to attack 3 times with Sweets Relay? Interesting. Okay, so an Eevee-centered expansion with a pretty whacker supporter to boot. And some interesting effects, some underwhelming evolutions, but some very promising ones as well. Espeon really catches my attention. I think Espeon is going to be pretty nuts. Just having that ability to punish Giratina EX like nothing else has been able to at this point. I think Tapu Lele was already a step in that direction, but Espeon is just like the ultimate counter for a strategy like that. Any sort of strategy that builds up energy in the excess in the bench is going to be hard punished by Espeon. Umbreon is also like a very interesting addition that will also hard counter basic EX lineups. Sylveon is a powerful card draw engine. Flareon is just a strong heavy hitter that's going to blend really well with the new Eevee item. The sweet cards, like I'm not sure how to evaluate them. Like I have to try them out, but it can seem like a really fun tactic to explore. And all in all, like it's there's definitely quite a bit going on for this, and it's nice that we've gone back to like stage 1 support, right? Because ever since the release of Rare Candy, stage 2 evolutions and basics feel quite a bit better than stage 1 evolution strategies. So with this Eevee package, I think we can have a bit of a baton pass going on, and let stage 1 get the limelight again. And I'm not doing a great job at expressing myself. I think I've just. This has been 25 minutes. Oh my god. Exciting stuff though. Definitely exciting stuff. I think it's really like it's kind of surprising that they released this so early. Like I didn't expect a trailer so soon, but there's definitely a lot to experiment with. And the Eevee design on a basic evolving, like it's like a basic EX Pokemon evolving is really intriguing too. So I'm eager to try it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Anything that stands out from the cards that we've seen, anything that I might have missed. I know my voice sounds weird. You know, I have one hell of a cold going on, and it's affecting my brain clearly as well. Love you. Have a soul day. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this random video that wasn't even supposed to be a thing. And I'll see you guys around.